Ladies and gentlemen, what is up and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking all about arena cutoffs and how to roughly predict the cutoff for kind of an up-and-coming champion, because this is a question that I literally get bombarded with on a weekly basis. Is Seatin, I have absolutely no idea how much to grind for this champion, and usually I try to chuck out as much advice as possible, but now that my audience has got quite large, I want to give you guys the basic toolkit and kind of what I use to roughly predict what the cutoff for, a new champion is going to be. And generally in this video, I think we're going to be looking at the 4-star basic champion, because that one doesn't fluctuate too much when it comes to new and exciting champions. However, the 4-star featured one is a whole other kettle of fish. It's just a crazy fluctuation there. So this is the cutoff for the veteran bracket. So for anyone unaware, there are actually 3 arena brackets. There is the 0 to 30 days one, which are all dictated by the amount of time that you've been playing the game and your account has been created. So from day 1 starts the countdown, and it's not days played, it's actual days gone past in terms of real time. So 0 to 30 days you got the beginner bracket, 30 to 60 days you have the intermediate bracket, and then 60 plus days you have the veteran bracket, which has everybody that has ever been playing the game for more than 60 days. So if you're a new player, the kind of general advice in the first 60 days is just grind as much as possible, because you are going to be competing against people that have just started playing the game as well. And if you're quite active, if you can get a foot ahead, you are going to get the better rewards early on, and you can get some really nice 4 stars from doing that. But this video, again, we're going to focus on the 60 plus days and look at various ways to estimate and predict the arena cutoff. So we're going to be talking about Crossbones, guys, because Crossbones is a champion that is coming to the arena in like an hour and a bit. He's going to be the champion over the next week's arena, and Crossbones is a pretty hyped champion, right? And that's kind of one of the first things that you need to know, is you need to have a rough idea of like how good a champion is that you're grinding for and his general uses in the game. And we know that Crossbones, from looking at some data like the prestige list, he's the second best skill character in terms of prestige in the game. So, in comparison, the first one is Karnak. And then if we look a little bit lower as well, something to bear in mind is Agent Venom as well, because that champion was recently in arena and that one broke the cutoff, which we're going to have a look at again in a second. So we can tell that generally from the general consensus of the community in terms of prestige, he is higher. Crossbones has got more prestige, which again is a very desired thing at endgame. If you don't know much about prestige, check out the video Prestige Explained on the channel. But we know he's got good prestige, but in terms of his uses, which we covered quite a lot yesterday, he has so many uses in the game. Very good champion, tons of utility, is a substitute replacement for Black Widow. So we know in terms of his uses, he's pretty hype as well. So in comparison to a champion like Agent Venom, who again, cutoff we're going to reference soon, he's better. He's a strictly better champion in my opinion. So let's have a look, guys. We can see here this absolutely fantastic spreadsheet, which will be in the description, lists basically all of the cutoffs for the various brackets: the 4-star featured, the 3-star and 4-star basic, the 3-star featured and 3-star crystal, which is curated and updated on pretty much a bi-weekly basis. So actually twice a week. Is that bi-weekly, or I think it's bi-weekly, I'm not entirely sure. It might twice a week, guys. Twice a week it's updated for every cutoff. So that is amazing. Massive props to the people working on this spreadsheet. I mean, your efforts are definitely appreciated by the community. So in terms of seeing, one of the best things to do when you're looking at kind of how many points should I grind is you want to sort the Z by sheet by Z to A, so you can look at the highest ever arena cutoff. Now you want to ignore the Deadpool healing factor one, because that was just a completely very special arena where Deadpool was the kind of a really hype reward, and that happened once and everyone went crazy for it. So just ignore the Deadpool one. But what you want to be looking at is the other, pretty much every other arena on this, and we can tell that the highest ever cutoff for a 4-star basic, which is the champion that we're looking at, Crossbones, has been 5.2 million, just over that with Agent Venom, as we can see by the basic hero on the right. Looking under that, it's been 4.7 million with Ultron, and then 4.65 million with X-23, and you can kind of see the dates And these are all pretty recent dates because, you know, in the longer spectrum of things, as people's rosters are growing in this absolutely huge bracket that we have, the veteran bracket, everybody that's been playing for more than 60 days, then, you know, people are able to score more and more points. So it's just going up and up and up. So now we look at Ghost Rider in comparison to Agent Venom. Now, kind of looking at this, right, and looking at Crossbones, you know, on paper, I believe personally he's a little bit of a better champion. And you see that people have put in a 5.2 million bid for Agent Venom. I would say that the Crossbones cutoff, and now this is just wild speculation, and that's kind of what you need to do. You need to think, okay, like this champion, I believe, is a bit better than the previous one that's gone. I'd say the Crossbones cutoff, we're probably looking at somewhere between 5.4 and 5.6 million. I think it's really going to break the record. But again, you know, that's not always right or reliable. So I would always go like a little bit over that. I tend to say like 10% for safety of what you think it is. So, you know, if I think the cutoff is going to be 5.6 million, I'm probably going to go 6.1 million. And while that is a lot of points, that's probably like a realistic representation of what it's going to be. So if you want to be safe, you go 10% over that. If you want to be super safe, you go 20% over that. And so far, in terms of getting champions, that hasn't really failed me too much once I fully understood that. But one of the things that has slipped me up a couple of times as well, and it's something you guys want to keep in mind, is the event schedule as well. You want to know when arenas are overlapping with the tier 4 class catalyst arena, because if arena does that, then generally a lot of the endgame people, you know, you want to grind every tier 4 catalyst, tier 4 generic catalyst that you can. So that generally like diverts people from the main arena to that arena. A lot of people go, oh, okay, the tier 4 one's on this. Maybe I won't get Crossbones this one, but I'll go from the next one because I'm busy grinding the class catalyst arena. So something to bear in mind is if the class catalyst arena is running simultaneously, not the class catalyst, the generic one, mixing my words up here, sorry guys, that is going to bring down the cutoff by a bit. But again, if you want to be safe, guys, check the arena cutoff history and kind of like have a good idea of, you know, what you're kind of aiming for. So again, some stuff is really, really difficult to predict. Like if we look at the top ever champions, like the Mordo Ghost Rider one, there's just so much variance. If we actually get rid of this filter, just see how much kind of it pings about. Like if we look at Phoenix, for example, you know, on the first and second one, on Phoenix's first one, she was 15 million. On the second one, she was just under 13 million. I think Ghost Rider was probably the biggest variance that we've seen in a 4-star featured. That's why the 4-star featured itself is so incredibly difficult to predict. Like Ghost Rider, you know, he's close to 16 million on the first one and then 7 million on the second. So really, when coming to cutoffs, guys, what I'm trying to convey here is that it's all about your ability to kind of understand, you know, why certain champions have gone for certain cutoffs before, and then make a prediction based on, you know, previous cutoffs and how good you think the champion is and how good his prestige is, and then, you know, grind the appropriate points about, you know, 10 to 20% over. So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed this. Well, it was meant to be a quick video, guy, but it turned into like an 8-minute rant about arena points. Hope some of you found this a little bit useful. Again, if you are grinding Crossbones, guys, if you do want to be safe, I would personally, if I'm going to grind the champion, invest that much time, I'm going to go for 6 million plus. And I'm really interested as well, because after Crossbones, I believe it actually might be the weekend after, but we're going to be seeing Black Widow as the basic champion in Arena. So, yeah, I reckon that's going to break the cutoffs even more, just because Black Widow is such a widely used champion. Between Black Widow and Scarlet Witch, you can do, like, everything in the game. And looking at, like, you know, what Doctor Strange went for in the first round, and Doctor Strange, you know, he's been in the champ game so long, and generally, I think like Scarlet Witch is much better than Doctor Strange, and Black Widow, I guess a bit of a different utility there, but I think we are going to see a really, really ridiculously high cutoff for Black Widow. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. In the description of this video is again going to be the link to the arena cutoff sheet. I'll also put the prestige list and the schedule of events, so you can see the prestige of champions and also when new events are coming into the game. So it's all about really using those resources, playing clever, blah, blah, blah. We talked about it way too much in this video. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did enjoy this video, feel free to leave a thumbs up. That'd be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, guys, once again, hope you enjoyed the video. Have an absolutely fantastic day. These arena cutoffs, man, too damn high. Too damn high.